Hi, everyone. This is Dave Denzel. I'm the technical manager for ID Additives and especially for purge compounds. And with the holiday shutdown coming up, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's important when it comes to shutting down. So, using regular resins may oxidize over time, causing carbon contamination. So it's not recommended to leave the barrel even at shutdowns. So purging with a commercial purging compound, CPC is the abbreviation for that. So if you see that later on, then that's what people are talking about. So purging with these CPC, such as ID Purge, is recommended for cleaning out the plastics machinery for shutdowns, since it is more thermally stable and it can take the extreme heat variations that occur when you're shutting down, and then when you have to turn the heats back on to start back up. So occasionally people they're going to try to purge with home remedies such as wood chips, hand soaps. I've seen all different types of things that have happened in the past. So but this is all time consuming due to removing your nozzle and dies. It does nothing to clean the internal components like check rings or anything else like that. So I started at this company one time, and I was looking out over the shop, and I seen this huge puff of smoke that was going on in the back of the shop. So I went over there to see what was going on, and it did happen to be on a weekend, and so it was a Monday startup. And they said, well, they were running ABS, and they had issues with screw slippage. So they figured that the screw had wrapped toward the back, so they were trying to get that all cleaned out. So they broke up a whole bunch of pallets, stuffed them into the feed throat, but they also had to take the nozzle off and try to clean out that screw tip because those wood chips, and being that the wood chips were treated, it's very hazardous to your health and everything. We actually had to evacuate part of the building because people were starting to gag and choke. So please do not use things that are not that you're not supposed to run through there. So that's why it's good to have a good purge compound sitting by that could actually help do all of this, and it might eliminate all that need of tearing things apart and possibly even doing damage to your machine. So as a best practice, implementing an ID Purge products into your preventive maintenance purge program is essential to any plastic processing facility for the following reasons. First of all, it reduces scrap. Each scrap part is a lost sale. It also increases your machine utilization. It gives you more business opportunities, and it reduces downtime, which increases efficiencies. Operators spend more time making parts, not just standing around. And so this is very important when it comes to that. So whether you're experiencing black specks caused from resin degradation or color contamination from a previous production run, most part aesthetic issues are related to the lack of a good purging program, which includes the weekend or holiday shutdowns. So the following preventive maintenance program is recommended by ID Additives for injection, extrusion, or blow molding processes, and includes the following steps. Purging the screw and barrel with a mechanical purge. This is the first step to removing contamination and buildup on the screw and in the barrel. Tougher purging applications may require additional purging cycles. Now, the suggested products that we recommend at ID Additives is that you can either use our Quick Shots HD or ID Purge MP or our ID Purge MP PE. So then the second step is that intermittent purging before and during and after production runs is important, because this process varies depending upon the resin and colors being run. However, purging every 2 or 3 days would be a good place to start. Evaluation would determine whether the long periods may be introduced. So in this case, you might just use our regular ID quick shots, our ID Purge SPPP, and our ID Purge SPPE. And then the important part and why we're talking today is that the shutdowns and startups, sealing the barrel with ID Purge for the weekend or holiday shutdowns is great for removing oxygen from the barrel. So you're eliminating any oxidation, as well as preventing any buildup from carbon that may be in the initial stages. Some people are not comfortable doing this, so they just leave residual purge in the barrel, which is fine if you're not comfortable with your people actually starting up. You know, did it actually get down? Did it actually get shut down correctly for the holiday shutdown? And then worrying about the people that are coming in and wondering if if there's purge compound in the barrel or is there regular material that was left in the barrel. So the important thing is that you just need to remove that previous material. So if you're not comfortable sealing, which is the recommended way, then at least leaving the residual in there is okay too, because purge compound is stable and you're going to be able to start up just fine doing it that way. So then and then you might have other reasons. In a fourth step, there might be other things that you need to do when it comes to purging out. So you might be purging a hot runner system, manifold system. After the screw and barrel have been systematically purged clean, the final stage is designed to ensure that the mold and its components have been purged clean and it is free of any contamination. And in this case, you can just use your normal purge compounds that you typically use. So when it comes to injection molding, purging the screw and barrel with a mechanical purge would be a really good first thing to do. And this will actually help clean out your check rings, your ball checks, your mixing nozzles as well. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to starting the process is that you got to clean the equipment before you even start introducing the purge compound into the barrel. So after you get all that equipment cleaned upstream, like your you got your hopper, you're going to clean out, make sure that the feed throat is clear. You're going to make sure that the magnet area is cleaned out really well and blew out. And then you're going to introduce the purge compound into the barrel. Typically, you only need one, maybe two barrel capacities for this. And what's really important is that once you start purging, is that you do it in short bursts. I'm a big believer when it comes to making sure that the check ring is moving properly and that it's moving quite a bit. So if you reduce your shot size down to 25% of your barrel capacity, and start cleaning out your barrel, then this will give you the best results that you need to see. So when it comes to then you're going to do your intermittent purging later on during the week and such. So I got one example that I can give. That I had this company, they were making seals for buckets. So they actually called and they asked if I could come in and do a purge trial with them to see if they could help eliminate them. They had lots of issues with carbon and black specks, and they just couldn't seem to get rid of them. And so when I went in there, I actually started with a mechanical purge, and such as MP. And I said, well, let's just clean your barrel and screw first and see what we can do to help eliminate this carbon. And see where the issue might be. So as we purged, it looked like it cleaned out pretty well. And he said, you know what, this looks like it works. This works good. So we introduced his next production resin that he planned on doing, and probably within about 20 minutes, we started seeing the black specks come back. And that, but we also saw some other color, and he thought that was actually strange. Actually, we both thought it was kind of strange that that even occurred. So I said, well, let's do another one. Maybe we're getting layers of material that's on your screw. So as we introduced the DMP back in again, we removed another color that was actually running in there. So we were actually trying to go from a black, and then this next color that looked like that we were removing was like this green color that was coming out on there. And I said, have you run green in the past? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did actually about a week ago. And so we removed that, and it looked like it was pretty clean again, except that right at the end of the purge cycle, we could see possibly another color. So we had to do it again. And by the time we got done, we did this 4 different times. And by the time that we got to the last color, and it was a red that had occurred. And he said that color had not been run for 10 months. So we cleaned that out, and it looked like it cleaned the screw off really well, because we actually took a mirror and a flashlight, looked down the feed throat, and we couldn't see any more material onto the screw. So we started up the production, and within 5 shots, he was running good parts again. And then we waited around for a couple hours. No black specks, no carbon occurred. So after that, he just bought a regular purge instead of doing just the mechanical purge. He just bought a regular purge to come in behind that. And he's been doing a preventive maintenance program ever since. So he actually cleans after every color. And then on the weekends, he shuts down with the purge, and he just keeps it clean that way. So that's why it's really important, to get a good maintenance purge program going. So, and then we got our extrusion process. In this case, when you're purging the screw and barrel, you can start out with mechanical purge as well with this, or regular purge, depending on the materials that you might be running. And again, you got to make sure that you clean out your dryers, blenders, your hoppers. And this can actually take quite a while to get this done. So, but in the case of extrusion, you're going to vary the screw speed. And then you're probably also going to remove the screen patches. You're probably going to break off some carbon. You're going to get some black specks. But most people actually remove the screen pack anyhow, because there's a reason it's there, and that's to capture any particulates that might get into your dies and such. So, and what you're probably going to do is raise the heats at the transitions and melt pumps. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. When it comes to sheet die, you're actually probably going to just raise the temperatures on the outside edges of the die. And it might be anywhere from 50 degrees. I've had some people raise it up to as much as 100 degrees just to get good flow going through there. So depending on the material, we can help out when it comes to those procedures. We actually had a company that was doing hips sheets, and they were running about 2,500 pounds per hour when it come to that, and they were having really big problems when it come to removing carbon. It would take them anywhere to 4 to 5 hours to actually, once they started the sheet up, to actually get their sheets clean. And they were just running just their raw materials to do this. They introduced 50 pounds of our MP purge in there, and then they shut it down for the weekend. On their startup on Monday, they were actually able to introduce their next material, and it totally eliminated the 4 to 5 hours of cleaning that they had to do. So they just had to rinse out the purge compound really well, and by the time they got it rinsed out and such, they were running production in a very short time compared to what they were doing, and they eliminated that 4 to 5 hours of cleaning. So so you can see that using a good purge compound, you know, that 4 to 5 hours, just imagine 2,500 pounds of material an hour that it was taking them to clean that out, and then using a purge compound, 50 pounds, and then they were able to eliminate all of that material need, especially in this day and age when material costs are so high. So also when it comes to blow molding, you know, you're probably going to raise the head, the temperatures about 50 degrees, maybe even 75 degrees. You're going to open that die gap maybe about 25%, and then you're going to clean around that die gap using probably a brass putty knife or something like that, just to make sure that that's all cleaned out. Typically when people start up and they see contamination, there's a good chance that just wasn't cleaned out really well. So you're going to just want to make sure that you clean that well. And but again, though, you know, just like extrusion, you're going to vary the screw speed when it comes to cleaning out the barrel and screw, and so that's very important. Just to make sure you do that. That'll agitate that material, that purge compound very well, and it'll help clean up pretty good too as well. So incorporating an ID purge product into a preventive maintenance purge program can substantially reduce your layers of carbon buildup, eliminate the potential of cross-contamination of resins and or colors, and then it will also lessen the need for screw pulls. So what you need to do and what you expect from your CPC manufacturer, remember that no two CPCs are alike, or commercial purging compounds. So you know, they need to offer a tested and proven purge compound that is better than resin and regrind or any of these home remedies. They will also provide the information to ensure that proper CPC is selected for the material and machine application. And what's really important is that you need to train the processor for the proper method needed to ensure desired results. Use as directed, modify, and get approved by your management if you do need to try something different. And this hopefully will help in getting the confidence level for your operators and such, so they will shut down properly, and then they will also start up properly. We're all trained as processors that you cannot leave material in the barrel. But if you do seal properly, you shut down properly and start up, and with the confidence that you're going to eliminate much of your scrap, and get your machine up and going much quicker than what you did previously. So I hope you have a good shutdown. I hope you have a good holiday weekend. This is the end of my presentation. I hope that you subscribe and like to this channel, and hopefully we can help you out. Please contact me anytime that you need some help, and I'd be happy to either do a Zoom chat with your group. We do a training program. I can come out to your place and do a training out there as well, and then also do a purge trial with you. So please don't hesitate to give us a call, and good luck with your shutdowns, and have a happy 4th of July holiday weekend. Thank you very much.